In 2016, the San Diego Registrar of Voters willfully mishandled their election audit in direct violation of California law.
After the 2016 presidential primary, there was some question as to how the Registrar of Voters in San Diego was conducting the post-election audit process. And Citizens Oversight Projects is a nonprofit organization run by Ray Lutz and his volunteers. And one of their projects was election integrity. He asked me some questions about it. I did some research and read his materials. And I said, you know, Ray, you are right. That post-election audit needs to be done with 100% sampling. Otherwise, it's statistically flawed.
It is unfortunate for the citizens of the great state of California that there is no representation for the people's right to vote.
In times of crisis, the people have no recourse to hold their county's Registrar of Voters accountable except to take them to court at their own expense. So this is exactly what the citizens of San Diego County did. A nonprofit group of volunteer citizens providing the only impartial oversight for San Diego County elections, called Citizens Oversight Projects, obtained the services of consumer advocate attorney Alan Gerasi. Alan Gerasi took the case on pro bono at no charge and filed a lawsuit against undoubtedly the most controversial registrar in the country.
Having a robust audit process is a requirement, in my view, to assure the public that a valid election has occurred. When the election results are certified, the public at large knows that their vote was counted, their votes and ballots were audited, and that the election was full and fair. What was being done by the registrar is he was basically drawing a line on election day so that all of the ballots that were received after election day by mail and provisional ballots were not becoming part of the sample from which he was doing his 1% manual tally to make sure that the count was properly done by his machinery. And by only taking, let's say, half of the ballots, we're basically leaving open this idea that anybody who wanted to be nefarious, wanted to change the outcome of the election, would only have to go to those ballots that weren't going to ever be audited and make some changes to them to influence the outcome of an election. So we went to court on this issue.
According to Dr. Philip Stark, professor of statistics, UC Berkeley, election audits are the only quantifiable means in which to provide any accuracy in election systems oversight. Dr. Stark should know. In 2007, he was one of the chief consultants called upon by then Secretary of State Deborah Bowen to help oversee California's comprehensive, top-to-bottom election systems review. No other comprehensive review of the election systems in California has taken place since.
After a 3-day trial, we were successful. The judge ruled in our favor that all of the vote-by-mail ballots must be included in the post-election audit, whether they were received before Election Day or after Election Day. And because the popularity of vote-by-mail is increasing, San Diego County is now voting over 65% by mail.
Wow.
That's why they changed the name from absentee ballot to vote-by-mail ballots, because it's growing. That number is going to be 80-90% in the next 2 election cycles.
Citizens Oversight Projects and Alan Gerasi prevailed in California Superior Court. The 8 largest counties in California had mishandled the audits in the 2016 primaries. What makes this even more troubling is the fact that the 8 most populous counties in California, Los Angeles, Orange, San Bernardino, Sacramento, Riverside, Santa Clara, San Diego, and Alameda counties all willfully broke the law and mishandled their election audit.
Flash forward December 2018.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Alan Gerasi, Care Law Group, and I have been the attorney of record for Citizens Oversight throughout this process. After we won the case, the County of San Diego appealed. Through the manipulation of the lobby group for election officials, they managed to ram through a bill that got passed and signed by the governor just before our case was ready to be heard that basically changed that section of the elections code to reflect what they were already doing. The appellate court basically ruled that the issue became moot because of the fact that the law was changed. It was no longer a judiciable controversy between the parties. We could no longer enforce our judgment against the registrar because the law changed. I argued to the appellate court that they should decide the case nonetheless. And now we're taking that issue to the Supreme Court of California. What's happened here is, as Ray has pointed out, the legislature changed the statute to basically fit the process that they were following. I've decided to run for state assembly in my district up in Northeast San Diego because one of the issues I care about is making sure that the electoral process and the post-election audit process is done correctly.